it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2021 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of February, and this reading is for the air sign of Gemini, our twins. Welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, for hitting that like button and that subscribe button, for sharing, and for all your support, feedback, and comments. So this reading is for Gemini for the last 2 weeks of February. So that's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus is in Gemini, and also if you're cross-watching for a Gemini, it's all relevant. But watch all of your signs if you know them for additional insight, because personal or general readings, of course, resonate a little differently for everyone. If you find that any of these readings resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading, you can get my contact info by clicking on the description link below, clicking on that little arrow. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Please feel free to email me directly. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. And I do readings full time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent about working with people's schedules to get personal readings set up as quickly as possible, either for yourself or as a gift for someone else. All right, Gemini, let's see what the last 2 weeks of February 2021 have in store. Gemini. Okay, Gemini, we begin with the Five of Swords, followed by the Ten of Swords, the Hierophant, the Six of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're getting help to try and free yourself from a negative cycle. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Devil. That's the overall energy or focus for the last 2 weeks of February. The Devil represents addictions, obsessions, temptations, vices, things that we find ourselves caught in cycles that are not good for us. They're negative or they're toxic. It might be that the person, place, or situation in and of itself isn't toxic, but our place in it is, meaning that it's something that has been negative for us, but we keep cycling back to the same old thing again, because there's something about it that we get something out of it. The Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords. A hard-won battle, winning at all costs, even if it means you have to leave people behind. You can see he's just finished a battle. His foes or opponents are on the ground behind him. He's gathered up all of their weapons, meaning that he has removed their ability to hurt him. But it's been a difficult battle. In some of the other decks, he's like wounded a bit. He's victorious in the sense that you've won a battle, Gemini, or you're winning one, but it may not feel very victorious because it's such a difficult battle. You're trying to break some kind of cycle in your life that has not been good for you. What's with the Five of Swords is the Ten of Swords, a card of betrayal, feeling stabbed in the back, feeling thrown under the bus, coming to an end. Because tens represent cycle achievement, so cycle fulfillment, whether or not everything's finally come together the right way, or whether something negative is ending and you can move on to something else. Whatever happened to put this man face down on the ground, and with the implication of 10 swords, this was not, the thing itself may have been sudden, but the situation or person or relationship, is established. But the sun is beginning to rise again. It's dawn. The animals will begin to return to the scene. So fighting a battle, winning a battle, trying to break a negative cycle or some kind of toxic addiction or obsession here. And then we have the Hierophant with the Six of Cups. The Hierophant, convention, tradition, religion, institutions, universities. The Hierophant represents, falling under umbrella where everybody kind of pretty much does the same thing in order to get kind of that sort of protection and shelter and sense of belonging and tribe. Um, I feel here for you that this actually represents a person, Gemini, that you're working with or that you will be working with that's going to be in a helpful position for you. It might be a therapist, a counselor, a priest, a pastor, a mentor, someone with wisdom and experience to help you in this battle, in this struggle. We have the Six of Cups, which is a card typically of history, nostalgia, roots of origin, childhood. Again, it might be religious attachments. It might be that what you're going to find helpful during this time is falling back on the tried and true, that which you know, the people that know you, that you love, that love you best as well. For some of you, though, because it is sitting next to the Ten of Swords, whatever this negative cycle is you're trying to break, it's been in place there for quite some time. And if it's a relationship, you may feel kind of that sort of karmic tie or the tie of history here with this person. And then we have the Two of Swords, can represent feeling stuck or being reluctant or resistant to looking at something. Here, though, I feel like it's a good thing because it's like turning a blind eye to something. And what are we doing that with? The Knight of Pentacles. An offer, a slow, steady offer. The Knight of Pentacles is the one knight guaranteed to cross the finish line, but he can be rather slow. It may be that your progress through this is rather slow, but the interesting thing is that when I look at how the cards laid out, the Knight of Pentacles is headed towards the Six of Cups. So, this could be an offer, but the offer actually is returning back to a past pattern or past history is what I'm getting here. It also might be that whatever this situation is, because I feel it's been a long-standing situation, it's perhaps been very slow, and maybe that's part of the issue here, the problem. But let's clarify things. Let's clarify the Devil. Yeah, I feel like the pull, which is the nature of obsession or addictions, is trying to pull you back into the same cycle again. Clarify the Devil. The Two of Swords, again, not seeing. Being stuck. A reluctance or a resistance to look at something. Because if you do, then you'll have to take action. That 800-pound purple gorilla in the corner of your living room. It's there, you dust around it, but as long as you don't look at it directly and acknowledge its existence, you don't really have to take responsibility for taking action to deal with it, right? Which is what the Two of Swords can represent too. And this is clarifying what the nature of this Devil is. The inability or reluctance to look at what this really is. The Six of Pentacles, the breadcrumb card, the Hanging Man, a lack of movement, stasis. So it feels like Gemini, this, for many of you, this is probably a relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship. It's somebody you have a historical attachment to. The nature of whatever the obsessive energy is, it's being pulled back because you refuse to take, or the difficulty, the challenge has been refusing to take a look at the situation in all its reality. Instead, settling for what you can get when you can get it, which, is kind of crappy to say the least, because the person who's in charge is the person who has all the pentacles that's doling them out. He looks like he's doing pretty well for himself, and as he's weighing out his own coins and wealth and resources, he's periodically throwing a few out the window to these waiting, grasping hands. But he's not looking at the person he's throwing them to. They're actually just portrayed here as a set of hands. It's almost kind of a sense of objectifying the person. I'm going to give when I want, where I want, at my own inconvenience, if it's convenient to me. But it's like you're not even looking at or acknowledging them as, like individual human beings. Not that you're doing this, but that's the nature of what's in here, and your refusal to actually see honestly the way that you're being treated. The hanging man, a lack of stasis and movement. Again, it's a card of waiting. It's like being in a relationship, Gemini, with somebody who might be in and out, or they just give when they feel like giving, and you're kind of taking it. But you're also refusing to see it in the reality for what it is, because it likely means you'd have to leave the situation, and you don't want to do that, or you haven't wanted to do that. And therein lies the challenge. Let's clarify the Ten of Swords. The Seven of Swords, sneaky behavior, lying, covering up, concealing. And what is being concealed? I mean, this is a general reading, so it can mean a variety of different things. In a relationship, it can mean everything from, cheating or infidelity, money issues, where they're going when, it's a card of secrecy, of keeping things hidden, of keeping things secret. And that's obviously caused, this sense of betrayal and deep hurt. Clarify the Hierophant. So you're fighting and potentially winning this difficult battle to try and break free from this. The Eight of Pentacles. We're clarifying the Hierophant. The Eight of Pentacles, somebody who's helping you do the work. The Eight of Swords, somebody who's helping you free yourself from the ideology that you are trapped, because you're not. The gaps between the swords are wide enough for you to walk through. The chains wrapped around your wrists aren't connected to anything or anyone. With the twist of your wrist, you could free yourself, stand up on your own 2 feet, take the blindfold off, see the situation for what it really is, and remove yourself. But swords is governed by the element of air, which is mental energy. So the swords represent excuses, ideas, ideologies. I can't leave because of this. I can't leave because of that. I can't free myself from this situation because of the other thing. There's somebody important or significant in your life who is helping you work through that. The High Priestess. The High Priestess with the Hierophant. Some of you, it might be you're working with a pastor or a priest, or something of that sort. You also know what to do. You know you're not really trapped. But again, the nature of obsession and addiction is the thing that keeps pulling you back, and it's all about kind of breaking that. Let's clarify the Two of Swords. The Four of Pentacles, holding on to what makes you feel safe, holding on to what little security you have. Because Pentacles is governed by the element of earth, and it often represents the things in our life that we're trying to attain or acquire or maintain that make us feel safe, stable. Money, finance, property, real estate, whatever it is that makes you feel safe and stable. Here, he doesn't have a lot. It's only 4 Pentacles, not 10. But he's clutching them anyway because that was what makes him feel safe. And the Knight of Pentacles is right behind that, so we have the Knight of Pentacles twice. And the Seven of Cups, which is a card of illusion, of daydreams, of building castles in the sky. The difficulty, Gemini, is in looking at the situation realistically. It's kind of like you have this dream or this fantasy, this illusion that if you just hang on, if you just hold on, you'll be safe, and eventually this Knight of Pentacles will come through, eventually. That's the nature of the illusion, which is the energy of the devil. And illusions, by their very nature, are dangerous because they have no flaws, right? Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups, charging forth to offer his cup of love. It's like, Gemini, that you think that this, and I feel like it's probably a relationship for many of you, or some kind of situation that isn't good for you. but you get just enough to keep you alive out of it, and that's what keeps you there, and the history that you have with this person. It's like you keep thinking this situation is going to change, that this person or situation is going to charge forth, wearing their heart on their sleeves and offering you the sun, the moon, and the stars. But this is showing up to be an illusion. And that's the battle that you're fighting here. And it looks like somebody else is either helping you with this or invested in helping you see this, see the truth of it, help you, be brave enough to take the blindfold off and take a look around and realize that you're not really trapped. You can remove yourself from this. Yes, it comes at a cost, everything does, but the victory is in what lies afterwards, that it puts you on a path where you have the hope and options of having what you really want, instead of waiting around interminably while life passes you by, waiting for, this perfect thing, which doesn't look like it's going to come forth from this. So, let's pull some advice and guidance cards for you, Gemini. The Magician, the Manifester, and the Three of Wands. This is about focusing on your future. This is about focusing on what's best for you in your future. It's about doing the work to manifest that into actual reality. And the Magician knows that he can't make what he wants happen just by kind of wishing it were there and thinking about it and trying to visualize it. This is about taking what he wants and combining his talents and the hard work required to actually physically manifest something in reality. It's very action oriented and very intentional, and it's about having a more positive and optimistic outlook on the future. This is your advice. So, obviously, whatever this situation, person, place, or relationship is not good for you. But you've been kind of in this cycle for quite some time. Spirit is asking you to think about, and it looks like you're trying to break it. It's difficult. It's a hard fight. It looks like you have somebody who's helping you or somebody who's invested in helping you. Spirit really wants you to focus on your future. Look at your future and look at it in a realistic way, not with the Seven of Cups, illusion, watery. This is about, okay, I've been in this situation for how long, and this is what it still is. Well, envision yourself waking up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now in the same situation. That's the nature of the challenge of the Devil card, is it keeps you kind of going back and forth in the same kind of cycle. And Spirit wants you to break out of that and really take a look at your future. Free will, pre-agency, right? So, I think I'm going to leave it there because it feels like I should just leave it there. So, Gemini, that is your reading. I know it wasn't, it looks like you're struggling to kind of break free from this. It's not one of those, rainbows and fairies kind of readings, but that's life sometimes. It looks like you're trying to break free of something that's very difficult for you to break free of, that hasn't been good for you, or it hasn't turned out to be good for you. I think we've all been through situations like this at least once, where we keep going back and forth and back and forth. It looks like you're fighting the good fight in that, and kudos to you for that. Keep an eye focused on your future when this Devil card sort of energy tries to pull you back. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful, Gemini. Again, if this reading resonated for you, you can reach out for a personal reading. Email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can see that info by clicking on the description link below. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the March general readings. Until then, stay safe and well. Be blessed. I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.